Anyong Chingwade. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Singer Dad Reacts. My name is Josh, and I'm happy to be back and doing a reaction to one of my favorite artists that I've reacted to on the channel, Sohyun. She is amazing, one of the most talented, inspirational, courageous artists on the planet, and I am excited to do a reaction to her cover of I Will Always Love You. And what I do with my reactions, for those that are new to my channel, is I will read through the lyrics at the beginning, and then talk about kind of what my take is on the story and the message that the songwriter is trying to tell through the song, and then I'll jump into the reaction. So if you're not into that part of what I do, then feel free to skip forward to the actual reaction on the video. For those that are interested, as I mentioned, I Will Always Love You, songwriter Dolly Parton. So I did research, as I tend to do with the song history and kind of where it came from. And what I learned is that Dolly originally wrote the song and was inspired by a situation she was dealing with her business partner, Porter Wagner, early on in her career. And she was basically ready to kind of move on to a solo career and stop kind of doing duets and things like that with him, and pursuing that part of what she was doing. But whenever she tried to explain that or talk to him about it, he didn't seem to really to take it or get it or understand. And so she went home after one of these discussions and wrote the song, and then called him to the side and sang the song for him. And he got emotional, and then he ended up understanding, and he said, okay, that's fine, you can move on to your solo career, but I want to help you and produce this song because this is the best song you've written. So that was pretty cool that he saw the potential in this song, and it is an amazing song. And of course Whitney Houston did an awesome cover of it that we're all very familiar with. So I'm excited to see Sohyun's interpretation of the song. The recommendation that came from you was to react to the Begin Again Korea version of the song, which I did notice has a lot more views to it than the other version that she has out there. So that's the one I'll be reacting to. But as far as the lyrics, verse 1 is, if I should stay, I would only be in the way, so I'll go. But I know I'll think of you every step of the way. The chorus, and I will always love you, I will always love you, you darling, I love you. Verse 2, bittersweet memories, that is all I am taking with me, so goodbye, please don't cry. We both know that I'm not what you need. And the chorus again. And then the bridge, so I hope life treats you kind, and I hope you have all you ever dreamed of, and I wish you joy and happiness. But above all of this, I wish you love. And then it repeats the chorus, and I will always love you. And that's it. It's pretty simple, not a whole lot to this song. One quote that I want to share real quick that I found from Dolly about writing the song is, she said, it's saying, just because I'm going, don't mean I won't love you. I appreciate you, and I hope you do great, and I appreciate everything you've done, but I'm out of here. So that was her quote, and that doesn't surprise me as far as the tone of how she said it. She's just that kind of person that speaks her mind and is very spunky. But yeah, so those are the lyrics. I will move on to the reaction. For those of you new to my channel, or if you haven't already, if you could please click on the subscribe and click on the little bell notification. I would appreciate that to support the channel. I'm getting back on track and I'm going to be doing more reactions, and I have a goal to kind of do 2 or 3 reactions a week. So you guys can hold me to that in your comments and say, hey, Josh, we need you to do more reactions, and I will focus on that. I've got a lot of things going right now, but I need to get back to the channel and do this. I really enjoy it, and I just need to spend the time and focus on it, and spend more time interacting with all of you around the world. It's something I really enjoy doing. So thank you for your patience and support. Here we go.
If I should stay, hold on, leaving the way, so I'll go, but I know I'll think of you every step of the way.
Wow. Her voice is so pure and so just resonant, and she has so much control. She can, the little things that you may take for granted in what she does, like what she just did there, where she backed it way off and was singing a lot softer, but yet the sound, the pitch, the tone came through very clearly and just rang through, and still had that power behind it. And I think that's part of the magic of So Young, is that every song she sings with her full heart. She finds something in that song, in the melody and the words, that means something to her. And then she puts all of her heart into bringing that through in her performance. There aren't a lot of artists out there like that. A lot of artists, sometimes they just phone in a performance, right? They don't really put their whole heart into it. They just kind of go out there, and maybe they're a little frivolous, or they just kind of, put it together. But they're not bringing, the very essence of themselves into it and trying to tell the story and bring the power to the message of the song. So I think she's one of the best out there at really finding out within herself what the song means to her, and then bringing that through in the power of what she sings, and putting everything she has into each note, each phrase, each word. The volume, right? The dynamics, all those things are a part of what so she's just a master storyteller as it relates to painting the masterpiece through the music. I want to go back real quick and listen to that last phrase that I was just talking about, it, because here she is, she's in this setting where she's just out singing with these people, not in a concert setting or anything like that, and she's just nailing it. And this guy behind her is just cracking me up with his lip syncing here. Let's see.
I'll think of you every step of the way.
Right here, see how she's just really soft, but yet it's still resonant. Look at these guys. Oh, beautiful. all these other performers are like, wow, how do I follow that?
Bittersweet
And she's doing this sitting down. Just even that much more impressive.
that is all I'm taking with me. So
Now she's adding a little more power to it.
please don't cry. We both know I'm not what you need, and
Ooh,
will
I like that, what she added there.
love you. I will always love
Ooh.
you.
And that's the thing, that what she just barely did there, those are the little things that she kind of adds to the performance. Where she's adding her own little twist, her own ends of the runs and inflections and different things to her version of the song, right? Bridge Over Troubled Water, same type of thing, where she's making her own. She added the gospel element to it and did all these things with it. And she's doing the same thing here with the way that she's kind of adding these little things in, creating these little riffs and runs. Everything with Sohyung is dedicated to telling the story. I never feel like when I'm listening to her do a run or a riff that she's just adding it in there just to kind of show, hey, check me out, look how awesome I am. It's all part of the performance and telling the story and bringing her own flavor and texture to the performance. So, yeah, these fellow performers have got to just be like, how do I follow that? How do I sing after her? It's just like, I'm going to sound like an amateur, next to what she can do. Let me go back a little bit here.
Always love you.
Yeah, right there. She added that in there. Look at her face.
So I hope life treats you kind.
See the sincerity in her eyes and in her smile and her expression.
Whoever you dreamed of, and I wish you joy and happiness. But above all this, I wish you love. And
See, look at her mouth right there. So there's things I can point out here that show good vocal habits that you can see really, really clearly actually from this capture of what she's doing. So first off, notice her cheeks are high like this. I've talked about it on other reactions, the singer smile. That's how you lift the soft palate up and to create more resonance in the sound. And then her tongue is forward. So if you watch some singers, like their tongue like kind of goes back. You might see, I can't do it very well, but you might see the tongue kind of lay toward the back of their throat, where there's like a gap between their teeth and their tongue. That's, unless you're trying to create a very specific sound that's kind of more closed off, that's not a good vocal habit normally. It's almost like the concept of a straw. If you're blowing air through a straw and then you kind of squeeze off the straw, that's what's in essence happening when you push your tongue back, because the passageway where the air flows through, the tongue is going to obstruct that. So that's another habit she has there. And also she's opening her mouth and dropping her jaw, which creates more of a chasm for the sound to come through, and you can bring more resonance to the sound. A lot of singers, when they barely move their mouth kind of stays closed like that, they're limiting the quality and the resonance of the sound and the volume, of course, that they can produce by doing that. So, and there are, again, these are just general good practices that you learn in classical training. But there are times where you may want to close your mouth. You may want to not raise your soft palate as much. And you may want to do some of these things to kind of create specific textures and different sound types, right, when you're singing. So it's not a catch-all that says you should always do these things. But when you're trying to really create a specific type of sound, high resonant sound with good volume and typically good pitch, these are some of the things that will help with that. So I just wanted to point those out because she is very good vocally as far as the technical aspects and working with her larynx and working through all of her vocal registers and all of that. So I just wanted to point out some of her really good habits that she has that are coming through. She worked well with her accompanist right there. Listen to that power. Let's hear that seamless transition into her head voice. So effortless. That's cool. So real quick, did you hear what she did at the very end there? She's adding her own special characteristics, her own stamp to this performance, making it her own. And I love how normally when you're singing to an audience, they tell you not to close your eyes because then you're kind of disconnecting with the audience. But I think in this case, there are moments where she's closing her eyes, and I think for me, it's actually adds power to what she's singing because she's kind of within herself and she's in deep thought about the meaning of this for her and whoever she's thinking of when she's thinking of "I Will Always Love You." That brings that power to the performance. So it's a balance, I think, with the eye closing aspect. But this was remarkable. Like her transitions that I kind of pointed out into her head voice, and because there's several different jumps right there toward the end to some of the higher parts. Seamless, completely seamless. And then the thing she did at the end where she was just going up. I love the little things that she adds. I've never really had moments watching a Sohyung reaction where I'm like, yeah, why did she do that? Or she added that, but I'm not really keen on it. I've never had those moments with her, really. She has such good instincts about the choices that she makes and the things that she adds in. to her performances. So let's just, that one last little part here, let's watch that again here.
Of you, I will always,
Yeah, see right there, she had a little,
love.
and that's different. Right here. And there's just ringing out there. Wow. Yeah, so another amazing So-Hyun performance. She could sing anything. I could listen to her sing anything. You could pick like a children's story or like a reference book that some might consider super boring and just have her sing it, and I would enjoy it. So yes, she made it her own, and it stands on its own as a So-Hyun song, and that's the mark of an amazing artist, is when they can take something that's well loved and considered, just this masterpiece that can't be really done as a cover and do it justice, and she'll make it her own and just make it amazing. So I have every confidence when I'm preparing to watch her sing a cover that she's going to just do something amazing with it and make her own, and it'll stand the test of time and be at least as good as the original in almost every case. So thanks for your recommendation. This was an awesome song. Please add more of your recommendations to the comments below. Let me know what you really want me to react to from her repertoire. I'm leery to do some of the Masked Singer stuff just because I rely a lot on watching the facial expressions and kind of, watching the feeling come through in the face and that part of it. So it would be kind of hard to watch a performance where it's her behind a mask and just singing. But some of you have said those are some of her stronger performances. So if enough of you kind of weigh in on that and say, hey Josh, you need to react to Masked Singer performance this and that, then I'll definitely add it to my list and react to it. So let me know. But I definitely won't make it as long between reactions to So-Hyun. Thank you so much again for your patience and waiting for me to get back to her. I need to do more of her songs partly because I just love to watch her sing and to listen to her amazing voice. And I'm the type of reactor that I don't listen to her songs unless I react to them here on the channel, because I want each reaction I do to her songs to be a first-time reaction. So if I want to listen to more So-Hyun, then I need to do more reactions on the channel. So anyway, I will close my reaction as I do with all of them by reaching out across the world to all of you to let you know that you are special, you are loved, and you can accomplish your dreams. And I hope that you have family and friends in your life that love and support you, and that you will always love and hold close and create amazing memories with, and that will lift you up and encourage you as you strive to accomplish your dreams and live each day to the fullest. So all the best to you, and again, thank you for your support, and take care.